Okay, welcome back to Luxury State of Mind. My name is Damia Shodi, and on this podcast, my goal is to encourage you to live your version of luxury every single day so that you can live a value and identity based life. And the way that we live in luxury every day is embracing authenticity. So, wanting you to be able to craft a life that feels tailor made to you, that you love, and that you get to experience every day. So, we're all about the beautiful things here and what makes for you beauty in your life. So, welcome back if you're new, or technically, if you're not new, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. We have a little bit of a new setup today. So super excited about that. I don't have the big microphone with me today. I have this little small one here. So we're testing that out and I think it's super cute. So just a couple of updates. Well, birthday was last week. So happy birthday to me, Luxury State of Mind. That was so fun. I had a pink themed birthday dinner. I actually posted it on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's Lux State of Mind Show. So I shared about how I put that together, which was really nice. And, we were in what I call a tundra last week in the Dallas area. And the storm almost tried to take away my birthday, but thankfully things were able to continue moving forward. So that was really fun. I really got to flex my hosting muscles there. And then, second thing, I did conversations over dinner yesterday. So if you were able to attend the event, thank you so much for coming. And if you are curious about what conversations over dinner is, it's basically an opportunity for women to gather together to have great conversation over great food. So we have very intentional questions that we ask that allows people to feel free to just share whatever it is that they want to, and encourage the next person or the next woman next to them. So it's a great opportunity to build community over good food. So we go to different restaurants around the city and just enjoy a meal together and build community. So we had that yesterday. It was so much fun. It turned out so well, from the staff that supported us to the restaurant that we ate at to each of the women that came. They each contributed something amazing to the experience. So, as you know, and I actually have this here, I'm going to show it to you. The theme of this month is in my aligned era. So, actually, for the whole Q1 quarter, everything that we're doing is around this theme in my aligned era. And that was what the event was yesterday. Just talking to ambitious women who are, killing it in their careers. They're doing great in business, or they're taking the steps to build a business as they're creating their career. We talked mainly about, and why this in my aligned era came about was, I didn't want another, oh, here's some goals and, do some willpower and figure it out. That was not the intention of why I wanted to do that or why, or how I wanted to carry the conversation really about goals and vision, because we know at the beginning of the year it's about, people want to talk about their resolutions, which we know don't work. They want to talk about, my goals for the year, and then by the time you get to the end of January, you may have already felt burnt out. I really wanted to take the conversation away from just, oh, here's some goals to accomplish, but really, let's get back to the basics. Like, let's get down to, who are you as a person, but where do you believe you are going? Who is the woman that you are becoming on this journey? So it's not just about, let's just take some things off the box. Let's really get into, who do you envision yourself becoming? And how can you step into that process now? Or if you are stepping into that process, how can you continue to go down the road of becoming whoever this person is, whoever your unique version of luxury is? So that's really the theme of what In My Aligned Era is about. It's really getting back to the roots of things. We're discussing identity. We're discussing intentionality. We're discussing how you have the opportunity to choose at every moment, and what are you choosing that will allow you to get to where it is that you want to go. I mean, it's for the woman that is extraordinary, that's not interested in living a very typical, normal life, but wants to really shine in her life, and especially this year, I've put out different posts about if you know that this is the year for you, not because something whimsical will happen, but because you've decided, then being in your aligned era is the way to go to continue to move forward throughout the year. So we really talked about that alignment and then becoming. Like that was a theme of the night. I had one of the questions that dealt with, who are you becoming, right? Or something along those lines. And it's funny, every dinner that I do, it seems that there's a central theme that I don't necessarily create, but the group creates and continues to have conversations around. And it was really interesting to hear the different stories and the different perspectives of the women that were there. I mean, you have corporate professionals, you have people who are killing it in their career, you have lawyers, you have people in marketing, you have people in entrepreneurship that are climbing up whatever ladder they're going, but they know they need to pivot and adjust in some areas to really align with where it is that they want to go. So the perspectives of becoming was a theme, and I got to hear women talk about how their present days are helping them to become who they're called to be in the future, but they're living it today. I mean, one of the ladies had shared that her experience of motherhood is actually helping her to remove the lies and the maybe incomplete truths that she was brought up with to believe. But motherhood is being used to uproot those things so she can keep moving forward in what she believes she's called to do. She's very successful. She even has her own practice. And she's found that there are still some things she needs to let go of to walk in the way that God has called her to walk and to go in that direction and become that woman. So it really shows you that it doesn't necessarily matter. You can be really accomplished to the world's standards, but there's still an element of becoming. There's still an element of getting aligned with who you're becoming. And it's like every experience is tailor made for you. The different areas in your life that you may enjoy or maybe struggling with are being used to help guide you along the journey to become the fullness of who you are supposed to be. We had shared so many things on that, again, different perspectives. And even for me too, I had shared with the table that I find it interesting how I can see my progress in life and really how my mindset has changed. I remember there were years where I felt the year repeated itself over and over again. I couldn't really have or feel like there was change. I couldn't really see it. Now, looking back, I was just growing because there are some periods in your life that you're just kind of maybe in the dirt. You can't really see anything. You don't know what's going on. I call it the dark ages, and it can be very difficult to see. Maybe for some people, maybe that's not the truth for everybody, but that was my case. And for many years, I didn't, after I left the medicine thing, if you don't know my story, basically, I had pursued going into the medical field since I was in grade school, ended up getting 3 degrees, and then eventually realizing that it wasn't for me, that I had built the dream based off of insecurities, that I just wanted to be smart and I wanted to be validated by others, but I had completely ignored my gifts, talents, skills, all that. So in doing that, I went through a period where I just could not see the progress. There was nothing that I could base my success on at the time. There was no, career. There was no nothing really that I could say, oh, I'm growing, I'm progressing. But really, as I look back, I was changing. I was becoming more, and it set me up for where I am now and for the future. The struggle that I went through in that season is what's giving me the ability to even speak to you today, to give you the knowledge, the wisdom, whatever I'm able to share with you, because it is a lived experience. And that's the whole point. And especially for those of us who are accomplished in different areas of our lives, but yet still feel maybe empty or feel like there's more to live. There's more of life that we're supposed to live, but we haven't tapped into that yet. That's really what this is for, to awaken that. So it was really great to hear from the women, and then also to be able to share with them my own perspective of becoming, and realizing that I've grown so much as continuing to keep making steps and moving forward. This is what I've seen, and this is also a theme in the room, was that as you continue to keep making steps forward, as you continue to walk in obedience, as you walk in what you're supposed to be doing. So there are things that you're supposed to actively be doing, right? And I had said with them that one of the things that pushed me to even create Luxury State of Mind was I had run away from creating anything for a couple of years. I was like, God Himself has to come down and talk to me to do this stuff, because it is not going, nobody's going to come and tell me that, oh, I conjured this up, I like brought this about myself. But God was so patient with me that He called me back to this over a period of time. And really, it just became really annoying. I didn't like want to do this. I wasn't fully convinced that this is what I needed to do. And one thing that I had shared was a quote or a saying that I got from Miles Monroe, basically that, maybe like the thing that you're called to, if you keep running away from it, it'll become like a curse. And that's how I felt. And as I stepped into doing the work, becoming more of who I'm supposed to be, becoming the woman who can talk in front of a camera, becoming the woman who can take value from the situations that happened before and be able to share with other people, I started to see that more of me is showing, more of me is coming out. I'm not as afraid to talk to people as I used to be anymore. Things have changed. I'm letting go slowly and surely of, the fear of what will they say, the fear of man. I'm becoming more confident in making changes or just trying something new. And I don't know if I'll talk about this in this episode, but maybe in the next one, like the patterns that I've been noticing that have led to, that I keep applying, that keep leading to progress. If you want to learn more about that, let me know in the comments if that's something that you would want me to share. I think I've alluded to some of it in previous content, but would be open to sharing it as well. Like there's certain patterns or certain things that I'm doing now that is allowing me to keep seeing progress over and over and to be able to take on new challenges. I've not arrived in any way, not saying that, but I can see that there's been progress made from where I was before to where I am now. And it's really just surrendering to this process of becoming, being able to just be, be able to believe that what the opportunities or what I'm seeing in front of me is for me, and then able to act on them. So to do the things that I'm supposed to do. And then it's like more opportunities and more growth is coming. So I'm having more. So that's that be do have. So those are some of the things that we had discussed. And, one of the things that I said in regards to how can you make this becoming season softer or easier is just being able to see the value in every moment or everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, to extract something of value from that that can help you get to, where it is that you want to get to next. So if you are looking for a new perspective on goals, conversation, and the vision, everybody has what they're saying. There's so much things coming to you about vision and all this stuff, and it has not changed, not nothing for you. You feel like you're kind of in the same place or you're still running, then I really do invite you to really tap into this in my aligned era Q1 thing that we're doing over here. If you are in the Dallas area, we will be having another event as well in March. And if you are in Lagos, Nigeria, we'll also be coming this February, at the end of February on the 28th, and doing another event centered around in my aligned era. So if you're like 2026 is my year, all this goals chasing and all that is not working, or I need something new, I need something different, then definitely come. And one thing I will say, I've been thinking about this and I might make a post about this. Maybe this will be the post, that you don't need another strategy. Like genuinely, truly, strategy is probably not what you need, especially as a high achieving woman. You're successful in many areas of your life. There's still more untapped potential that you still need to tap into, but you have already proven to yourself, to the world that you can do it. But there is still areas of your life that feel still like I've not reached where I know I'm supposed to be. I've not fully diving in. I've not fully lived just yet, right? You think that it's a strategy that you need, but really what you need is vision. And that's what this whole aligned becoming, all of that is with vision. I know for me personally, when I got a new vision of the kingdom, and when I got a new vision of how God wanted to use me in the skills and all the things that I have to help grow what He's doing, and it became less about me and more about what He wants to do, then that's when things actually started to change. So it had nothing to do with the vision of, or it had nothing to do with how I set my goals, which I do believe in, like having structure and all of that to take action towards what it is that you want to achieve. It had nothing necessarily to do with the goals per se that I was setting, but it had everything to do with the vision. Who do I see myself becoming? And that really goes back to identity. Who do I see myself becoming? What do I believe I can have? And becoming that thing. It deals with vision. Vision is the most important thing because vision can drive you where goals and strategy cannot. Vision is what helps you to keep getting up. Vision is what helps you to overcome the challenges that come. Vision is what helps you to step out of the boat. Vision is what helps you to be able to do those things, not necessarily a strategy. A strategy helps the vision come to pass, but it is not the key. So being aligned, becoming the woman you're supposed to be deals with vision. So the goal really is to help get clear on the vision so that you're set for the year. No matter what comes to you, no matter what's happening, you have the ability to pivot, to adjust, to go forward because you know the vision. You may not have it clear. I have not known a day where everything is very clear to me, but you have enough to take the next step forward. And you'd be surprised what would happen when you take those steps forward because you have the vision and the faith to believe that God has really gone before you and you can't necessarily fail. You may have disappointments, you may have things that happen. Of course, it happens, but you know exactly where you're going. It's just a detour. So that is in my aligned era. That is the things that we discussed yesterday. And what's so fun is every dinner is different. So even if we do talk around the same themes, it's literally different in every single event. So it's going to be fun. So again, if you're interested in coming to the next Conversations Over Dinner, you can look in the description and sign up for the next one. The next one is happening in Lagos, Nigeria. If you're in Nigeria, come to that. That is for the women who are in the fashion scene. If you are dealing in the fashion scene, you're a creative, or you're dealing with marketing in any way within those realms, then I would love to see you there at the next dinner. And then again, there will be another one happening in March here in Dallas that I will keep you updated with. And that's going to be really exciting. So thank you so much for listening and for being a part of the Luxury State of Mind podcast and platform. And last thing, if you are interested in being community with other women who also are growing just like you, that want to support you, that can hold you accountable to what it is that you are becoming into, then I invite you to join the waitlist for the Luxury State of Mind paid community. All right, see you on the next one. Bye.